Seatbelt properly mounted, secure, not damaged, not cut or rip. It latches and unlatches. My fire extinguisher properly mounted, secure, not damaged, properly rated and fully charged. My 3 red reflector triangles properly mounted, secure, not damaged, and none are missing. I'll check my glove box for my extra circuit breakers and fuses. Okay, now we'll do a safe start. I want to make sure my vehicle's in neutral. Both parking brakes is pulled. I'll put my clutch all the way down to the floor. I'll turn my key over to accessory mode. And I want to check to make sure my ABS light come on and go off. Then I'll go ahead and I'll start my vehicle. Okay, now I'll check all my needles and gauges. I want to make sure they all are properly mounted, secure, not damaged, and they rises to the normal operating range. I got my temperature gauge, my oil pressure gauge, my voltmeter display, and both air pressure gauges, which should read at 120 to 140 or the governor shut off. Then now I'll check all 4 indicators. I want to make sure they're working. I have my left indicator, my right indicator, my 4-way flashers, and I want to check my high beam indicator. So now I would like to bring myself out to my horn, make sure both horns are working. I have my city horn and I have my highway horn. Then I'll go ahead and check all my mirrors. I want to make sure they're properly mounted, secure, not damaged. They're clean and clear, and they all are adjusted to me. Now I'll check my windshield, making sure it's properly mounted, secure, not damaged. No cracks, no debris, and no illegal stickers. Then I'll check my windshield wiper arms and blades. I want to make sure they're properly mounted, secure, not damaged, not bent, broke, or cracked. Works on all speeds, and I must have washer fluid. Okay, the last thing I'll check is my heat and defrost controls. I want to make sure they work on all speeds. I want to make sure I have defrost and I have heat. Now I would like to do my series of brake tests. My first brake check I want to do is my tug test. I want to make sure I place my clutch to the floor. I want to put my vehicle into first gear. I'll press in my red valve. I'll ease off the clutch until I get a tiny tug, and I'll press the clutch back down to the floor. Then I want to pull out my red, press in my yellow. Then once again, I want to ease off my clutch until I get a tiny tug and press my clutch back down to the floor. Now I will check my service brakes. I want to make sure I push the yellow in, double check the red. Then I want to ease off the clutch and drive 5 miles an hour. Then I want to apply the clutch and then the service brake. My vehicle should not shift left or right. So now I'll do an air leak test, but before I begin, I want to make sure that my air pressure is at 120 to 140 or the governor shut off, and we're not good. So I'm going to keep my foot on the clutch and hold the gas down until my air pressure builds up. Once my air pressure builds up, I'm going to cut the vehicle off and cut it back into accessory mode. Now I will hold my foot on the brake for 1 minute, and I should not lose more than 4 psi within that minute. At this moment, you can ask the examiner would they like to time you. Now I will begin to fan my brakes, and before 55 psi, I should get a warning light and a warning buzzer. Okay, there's my warning light and warning buzzer. Now I'll continue to fan my brakes, and around 40 psi, both of my emergency valves will pop out. Okay, Mr. Examiner, that includes my in-cab. I would like to go outside and perform my out-cab.